Hello everyone, welcome to Login Sixth World. Today we talk about a bigger topic as an ethnic group, country, government, and individual. For these words are often used interchangeably. It is well known that China is the nation consists of 56 ethnic groups. Then how about the other countries? See, Russia is the largest country in the world and has 194 ethnic groups. And Mongolia has more than 20 ethnic groups. India has more than 100 ethnic groups and 1,635 languages. Indonesia has more than 300 ethnic groups. Mexico has 62 ethnic groups and about 360 languages. In Africa, there are 96 ethnic groups and about 1,250 to 2,100 languages. Brazil is the country with the most races that mix together, and the United States, as the melting pot of all nations, is supposed to have all the races and ethnic groups, and its citizens are categorized as 6 different kinds of races: the white, the African Americans, the Asians, the Indians and the Alaska natives, Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders. Takes hybrid races. There are also single nation countries in the world, such as Japan, with mostly Yamada ethnic group, and Palestine of Middle East on the same line areas. And there are 2 countries and 2 ethnic groups. With one is Israel, the other is Palestine. One is Jews, the other is Arab people. After the First World War, Mussolini in the Soviet Union and Woodrow Wilson in America advocated a national self-determination, declared all the nations or ethnic groups and have their right to establish their own countries. If then China will be divided into 56 countries, Russia will be changed into 194, India to more than 100, and Indonesia to more than 300. Obviously, if every ethnic group wishes to have its own country, it is totally impossible right now. And the current reality is one country may have different ethnic groups, and one ethnic group may scatter in different countries. Then what is the ethnic group, or what is definition for that? Ethnic group is a community of people that is different from others in culture, language, and history, and it has been stable in a certain period of history based on culture and bloodline. One ethnic group shares common characters in history, origin, ways of production, language, culture, the tradition, and psychological recognition. And sometimes religion plays a very important role in it. Then let's talk about countries. The United Nations has 193 nation members, and with Vatican and Palestine as observers. And the other 2 countries didn't join in UN. When the First World War finished, there were about 50 countries in the world. And 1 century passed. The sovereignty in the states have increased about 150. In the UN, the 5 permanent members countries in Security Council are America, Russia, China, United Kingdom, and France. They are 5 big powers with global interests and influences. Certainly, there are also many tiny countries with a small population in the world, such as some Pacific Island countries. And also the Pope States of Vatican. It is too much different among different countries. Then what are countries? Country is our social group with a common language, culture, race, religion, history, and territory, and government. And in Lenin's word, it's a kind of a violent governing machine that one class rules over the other. As a country, it obtains sovereignty in diplomacy and domestic governance that within certain areas of territory, and with government or executive branches as its symbol. After the Cold War, East Germany and West Germany combined into one, and the Soviet Union collapsed into 16 different independent sovereign states, and Yugoslavia divided into 7 countries. Currently, South Korea and North Korea are one nation, one ethnic group, yet 2 sovereign states. Mainland China and Taiwan also belong to one nation or ethnic group, yet with 2 different governments due to historic reason. The People's Republic of China and its government represent China's interests in UN. Taiwan's Republic of China, driven away from mainland, has its own elected president and its government. It is not recognized in UN or international community. Yet, though from 1945 to 1971, it took the legal seat in UN, but the 2 different governments in specific period of time, rather than 2 different countries. Now let's turn to the government and what is government. Government is an official organization or offices that control or manage the operation of a country. It is a general name for a national institution or bureaucracies. Broadly speaking, it includes legislature and administration and judicial system and even armed forces. Narrowly speaking, it's only refers to the executive branch. Since American independence in 1776, it had been under federal system and presidential administration, with 3 branches of legislature, executive, and judicial. Together build up the American government, that also called as Congress, President, and Supreme Court, totally equal without subordination. American federal system and has 3 levels of government: the federal, state, and local, with definite responsibilities and non-interference. There have been totally 45 presidents in history since the first one of George Washington, at the same country and same government, but only different administration of different presidents, such as Obama administration and Trump administration and Biden administration. Yet it is another case in China for the definition and notion of government. This word of government in Chinese originally came from China's Tang and the Song dynasty. In 1912, China witnessed the ending of imperial government of Mandarin Qing Empire and the new founding government of Republic of China. Whether it is a Qing Empire or Republic of China, the country of China as a nation had been the same China, and only changed the name of title or name or regime or administration, or changed the master or ruler of the country. In 1949, Republic of China was forced to evacuate to Taiwan and replaced by People's Republic of China. And China had been the same China too, just another new master or new government changed. Currently, China calls its own government as first generation, second generation, or third generation of collective leadership. Chinese government has been defined also narrowly as only the executive branch, and the supreme power of Chinese government is not from the premier or president. It is from the standing committee of the Politburo and the general secretary of the party. In different countries, different governments, and different periods, appear leaders or policymakers with different personalities. Many of them have been greatly shining like stars but was also some insufferably arrogant and infamous. George Washington, the first father of the United States, was greatly amazing in charisma, not moved for power nor for his own benefits, but has been worshipped by Americans. And should be also a good example of all world leaders. President Lincoln persevered in maintaining the unity of America and eradicated the slavery system. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, and the great emperor of Han Wu, the reunified China and expanded the territory, contributed tremendously to China. Yet also with Yuan Shikai, even after his becoming the first president of the Republic of China, still dreamed in being his Hongxian emperor, and eventually condemned in Chinese history. Germany, the Germans, and had their war manager Hitler of the Third Reich, and in Japan, there was such war criminal like Tojo Hideki, could not escape the punishment they deserved. The Russian President Putin, someone calls him the Putin the Great, and someone blames him for engaging a war with Ukraine. Ethnic group, the country, government, and individual are closely connected, and they have their specific annotations. An individual, even a leader or a ruler, doesn't always represent the government, the country, or the ethnic group, or even the nations. And so object to a person, an individual, it does not necessarily mean object to the government, to the country, or to the nation. So if power without any limit or boundary, the government and sometimes abuse or misuse its power, or nothing good to do, even in the name of the country or the nation. So in social and political science, there are always different opinions, even the opposite views about the same issue. A bit more about history and know more about the reality and discern which one belongs to individual, which one to the government, which to the country, and which to the nation. You are welcome to share your opinion or leave comments here. And thank you very much for your joining in today's program, and see you next time. Thanks, bye-bye.